If a genie from a lamp appeared before you right now and offered to grant you just one single wish, what would you ask for? Ask almost anyone, and the answers cluster around the same two things: immense wealth and health for themselves and the people they love. It makes perfect sense. In a reality where we drag our exhausted bodies to work every morning and live under the constant shadow of unpredictable sickness and loss, money and health aren't luxuries, they're survival. Yet, if we look through the ancient myths and fairy tales built around magic lamps, we find a curious pattern. The first wish is usually granted without instant. The tragedy begins when people discover they don't want just one. The answer lies in a strange paradox. The moment a miracle arrives, the very qualities that make us human become the mechanism of our destruction. The protagonists in these stories started out exactly like us, genuinely deprived, lacking bread for tomorrow, one step from being thrown into the street. At this stage, the wishes they make are entirely justified, earning the deep empathy of the audience. But the tragedy begins the exact moment that deprivation is satisfied. The human brain is wired so that once safety is secured, instead of feeling content, it immediately craves a broader radius of control. The survival instinct, once appeased, doesn't rest. It flips to the next page of the wish list. Suddenly, the protagonist reaches for more wishes, turning back time, eternal youth. The fundamental nature of the wish has changed entirely. Wealth and health were means to survive, but the ambition to shatter the rules of wishing, to forcibly reset past choices, to refuse natural aging, these aren't survival. They are hubris, an attempt to step outside the human condition and rewrite the laws that govern everyone else. And the moment you try to become the exception to those laws, the magic stops being a blessing. It curdles into the cruelest kind of curse, one that wears the exact shape of everything you wanted. This escalation isn't just a storytelling convention. It follows a well-documented psychological pattern. It begins with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Human desire operates in a strict pyramid. When our psychological and safety needs are met, our brains don't settle. They automatically unlock the next tier of hunger, status, self-actualization, and eventually the desire for total sovereignty over our circumstances. Then, hedonic adaptation delivers the final blow. Human psychology maintains a happiness baseline. Even after a life-altering event, a lottery win, or sudden inheritance, our emotional state gradually returns to where it started. We adapt to what we have and stop feeling it. So we reach for something more intense, then adapt to that too. We're not moving forward. We're running in place on a treadmill, perpetually chasing the feeling the last wish used to give us. Together, these forces push desire through a precise three-step sequence. The first wish is for survival, escaping poverty, illness, immediate danger, desperate and entirely justified. The second wish is for comfort, patching the unforeseen side effects the first wish created, still understandable. The third wish is for control, no longer solving a problem but attempting to rewrite the fundamental rules of reality, life, death, time, fate. Psychologists suggest that all human longing ultimately reduces to three core desires: safety, recognition, and control. Safety drives the first wish, is pure desperation. Recognition quietly fuels the second, the need to be seen, elevated, freed from the circumstances that define ordinary people. and control, the most intoxicating and most dangerous of the three, is always the third. It's no longer about living well. It's about being exempt from the conditions that govern everyone else. That's where the lamp stops granting wishes and starts collecting debt. This is the paradox of wishes embedded in the fabric of every one of these stories. We spend our ordinary days trembling with anxiety, praying simply to survive in peace. Yet, the moment absolute power is placed entirely in our hands, we abandon survival and reach for divinity. And at the peak of that arrogance, we collapse under our own weight. A wish list, it turns out, is not a record of what we need. It is a mirror reflecting our deepest vulnerability on one side and our most dangerous ambition on the other. Maybe the wishes we whisper to ourselves at night aren't as grand as we think. Maybe underneath the fantasies of wealth and control, they're just quiet confessions. The hope to protect the people we love, to feel a little less afraid, to wake up tomorrow with slightly more peace than we had today. Midas got his gold. Tithonus got his mortality. They both got exactly what they asked for. The real question was never whether the miracle would come. It's whether you'd have the rarest kind of wisdom, the kind that knows when enough is enough before the wish turned. If a lamp found its way to you tonight, what would you ask for? And do you trust yourself to stop there? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.